focus on hitting your goals in every area of your business. Remember, the universe rewards the bold. A leader has to take the risk.
We're in media. And I started talking to them because I've been thinking about this, guys, for a long time. Obviously, for 5 years. I did the first Primerica training video on social media. It's not on POL anymore, but it was the first video ever done on social media. And so I've always had it in my blood to do more because I feel like we don't reach a big enough audience talking in our own little tiny communities. This is not a big enough audience. So I bumped into a guy, Hank Norman, and we started talking and we started building a relationship. And him and another guy, Steve Carless. These guys put me in contact with Tim Story, and they're putting me in contact. All the people that I'm having on the podcast, I mean, Dr. Ish, all these different people. I mean, I'm in contact with Forbes Riley. I got a podcast coming out I think next week or a couple weeks from now with the #1 Honda dealership, the vice president #1 Honda dealership in the country. As a matter of fact, not even in the country, in the whole world. And so I'm meeting some of these people, they're big players. I'm meeting people that don't know Daniel Alonso, but now they know Daniel Alonso. So if they share, now so like somebody like Tim Story, he's got 500,000 plus people on his Instagram. So if he takes that podcast and he shares it with 500,000 people, do you think that maybe, just maybe, doesn't mean it's going to happen today, but do you think just maybe someday somebody's going to call me and say, I want to be in business with that guy? Okay? So I met people that introduced me to other people. So now what I'm doing, and that's why the Vision Tour was it was a big vision for me, and of course my company's not as forward-looking that I am at this point, and I'm changing that, guys. It's going to change, I promise you. This is not, I don't give up very easily, okay? It's going to change because every one of us, our business lives are counting on to change. I changed it before. All the things, by the way, a lot of people come up, they ask me like, what about compliance, you know? And so 5 years ago, the things that I posted, 5 years ago, every single thing that I did that they got mad at 5 years ago, they don't get mad at it anymore. Because why? Things change in 5 years, don't they? So you're scared today, don't be scared. Don't ever be scared of what you do. As long as you don't give, legal advice or financial advice or specific, you can be smart. But you can't be afraid though. And so the podcast was my ability to allow myself, #1, to see if I could reach a bigger audience of people so that I could reach people. Because even the people that I'm meeting, like Brittany Michael Chuck, she's one of the people that I did. She actually talks about social media as well. You might want to check out that podcast, Brittany Michael Chuck, and also follow her. But we follow each other. And she's been a big inspiration to me. She was one of the first people that I did a podcast with. And by the way, the media people didn't even set me up with her. I sought her out myself. And we started, so you just got to start asking people, like I did with Lance, hey, would you like to interview somebody? Look, people that do podcasts, they're not, just because they're doing a podcast doesn't mean they're famous and they're like making a lot of money. A lot of people, just like you, when you start your first podcast, you're not going to have anybody either. So you just got to reach out to people and ask people for help, okay? Just like when we started setting up appointments, you got to kind of do the same thing. All right, deal? All right, man, good deal.